head over to miniaturemarket.com where they have thousands of board games at discounted prices like Ankh'or. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're heading to the desert near Egypt where there are pyramids and there's also different warehouses that we can store goods in. And we're basically trying to use resources to buy goods and essentially create a tableau. Today we're talking about Ankh'or. It's listed as a 2 to 4 player game. More on that later. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. In Ankh'or, over the course of the game, you're going to be gathering different resources in these nice poker-style chip tokens, and you're going to be buying from a market these different tiles and laying them out in specific ways in a tableau. Now here we have the rest of the components. Now this is a market. Now at the beginning of the game, these little chips are placed in here randomly, and these correspond to the different goods that you're getting from these different tokens. So, and over the course of the game, you're going to be gathering these different tiles from the market by paying certain resources. So if you want this tile, you'll pay one of these and one of these back to the supply, and so on and so forth. These two that come out, these ones have been out the least amount of time, cost the most. So that's basically how the game works, is you're trying to gather resources, pay for tiles, and build your tableau. Now on your turn, you have two choices. One is to take tokens. You can take 3 tokens. So let's say I take this, this, and this. Now for the most part, you can take any 3. With that being said, at the end of your turn, you must discard so you have no more than 5 total tokens, and you can never have more than 2 of these orange ones, the Ankhs. These are the special ones. We'll go over what those do later. It would then be the next player's turn. When it comes back to you, instead of taking tokens, one thing you can do is buy a tile. Let's buy this one. It costs a green, and this little white one here, we'll go like this. We'll put it back in the market, and we'll take this. Now here we have my tableau that we'll add that tile to. Now we're a little bit further into the game. You wouldn't have anything at the beginning of the game. And when you take that tile, you're going to place it somewhere next to one of your other tiles like that or something like this. What you're trying to do is make contiguous lines of the same colors and or the same animals. Like here we already have 3 blues. I'm going to place a blue here. Here we already have 3 birds, and here we actually have 2 of the dogs there because they're on top. Now anytime you have a section of 4, like let's say later on we get something like this, then you can put one on top of all 4 like that. By the way, if you ever add a tile and you have 5 either animals or 5 of the same color that's all contiguous, meaning you can draw a line to it, you get a bonus. You're going to get 3-point bonus here, and I like to kind of just keep these on the tile to remind me what got me this. So in this case it was the blue colors. That'll be 3 points at the end of the game. This tile is just straight 2 points at the end of the game. We'll talk about how you score the animals and the colors later. So let's say myself and the opponent had taken a couple of turns. Now it's very important that you don't fill up this market. This is the big twist in this game after you buy things. The only way to refresh the market is to spend one of these special tokens. Remember, you can never have more than 2 of these. So on your turn, before or after your action, you can spend this to refresh. What this does is the one that's here gets completely discarded out of the game, and then all the rest will slide down, and then this fills up. Now the player that's doing this gets to pick which stack it fills up from, but they have to stay with that stack for the whole filling, and that's important because this tells you what color it's going to be. This is going to be blue. This is sort of going to be the whiter one. So I've already scored sort of blue for points, so let's try to bring some whiter ones out. So we essentially take from this stack and fill the rest of this. And so it's refilled. Again, you could have done that before or after your turn. Now let's say my tableau looked like this. Another use of this is, again, before or after your turn, you can spend this not only to just change the market, but instead you can move a tile. So you can take this tile, maybe move it over here because now I'm getting all the whites sort of together. Now keep in mind, since you can play one of those special tokens before or after your turn, essentially you could actually end up spending 2 per turn, 1 before your action and 1 after action, and doing either one of those or both the same type of actions that we just showed you. Now let's say we bought this. This is a warehouse. It has a little circle here. It's also this sort of yellowish color. It's this color here. When you get one of these, you take one of these from the supply and you place it on there. That's a warehouse. Now this is important because let's say later on you've got 5 resources, which is the max. This one holds this, and if I spend one of these, then later on I get one, I can place it here, so this doesn't count towards the 5 resource max. Now let's say in a future turn I get one of these. This is a scribe. It allows you to take an immediate turn again. Plus this one is the same colors of these 5 here. So because I have 5 here, because of that color, I have 5 of them, I'll get a bonus. Let's say over the next couple of turns I get these 2 birds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contiguous birds. So again, because I have 5 of something, either a color or bird, I get a bonus like that. And also one other type of tile is, let's say we have this here. This doesn't do anything, but it does count as one color of this outer ring. In this case, it's this color here. Now you may have noticed I just placed my 13th tile. Once all players have had equal amount of turns after the first player to reach 13 tiles, the game ends, and then you'll count points. Well, points are pretty easy. If there's straight points on the tiles, you count those. If you have bonuses, you'll count those. Then, if you have at least 2 of any color contiguous, all the contiguous is a point. So these blues are going to get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These sort of yellowish is going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it for colors. Birds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dogs, 1, 2, as long as you have at least 2. So that's how you count up all the points. Whoever has the most at the end is the winner. All right, first of all, this came from Space Cowboys, and they have typically nice components and nice components here. Those little poker chips, they're like mini versions of the little Splendor poker chips that Space Cowboys came from. So really good, solid components, the tiles, the chips, the insert, everything like that. I like that you're collecting sets of animals and or colors, and that's sort of giving you a strategy throughout the game and you're trying to put them around each other. I like that the warehouses they help you go over that limit, which feels very restrictive at sometimes, but if you have those warehouses, you can have more than 5 resources. I like the straight point tiles. Those add sort of a different element, again, because maybe you're working on colors and you'll get the points and you'll get some things for the colors there. I like the biggest twist here is refreshing the market, using the Ankh token, the orange one, to refresh it. And the timing of this is so important, and it's really the crux of the game, is trying to figure out, oh, they're gonna get this. I saw that a turn or 2 before. I knew what they were going to go for. So I actually started collecting resources to the left of the one that I wanted. And then I'm going to use that to get rid of that tile on the left, slide everything down. Now they're not going to be able to get the thing they want, but I've been planning this forward, and I'm still going to be able to get the one that I want. And that is just such a cool, it's really the twist in this game, is the timing and how you use that resource to refresh the market, because it's the only way it refreshes, and that's really the big twist here in this game. I like the tableau building. I like trying to connect the tiles. It's pretty straightforward, but it is kind of fun to build your own thing. I like that the market changes every game, because each of the resources is going to be, for something else. And that token limit really does keep the economy of this thing tight. On the negative side of things, now this is actually listed in the 2-player series of games from Space Cowboys with the new version of Jaipur, which by the way is an excellent game, go get that. This and then T for 2, which is coming out soon. So it's listed as their 2-player series, but the game is actually listed for 2 to 4 players. And there's rules for 3 to 4 players, and it comes with the components to play with 3 to 4 players. But this really is best with 2 players. It's really a 2-player game because the whole timing of the market is the crux and the fun of the game, and with more players, just too much happens between turns for you to be able to plan and really to dive in deep for that strategy of what the game's really about. So I would recommend this, and I'm giving it an approval for a 2-player game. Now with that being said, the placements of building your own tableau are pretty obvious. After you play the game once or twice, there's not too much thought of where to place things. It's pretty obvious. I'm building this color over here, I'm building this one over here. Sometimes you'll get really clever and you'll place something that has the right color and the right animal on top of 4 tiles. That's going to allow you to move in different directions. But overall, once you know what's going on, that part, it's not very puzzly. I thought it was going to be more puzzly than that. But it's pretty straightforward of what you're doing. And 2-player games is a crowded genre. It's some of my favorite games are 2-player games. This one I wouldn't say is like in the upper epsilon of the best 2-player games that I've played, but it is one that I recommend. It didn't really separate itself out from being, say, one that I'm going to be coming back to over and over again, but it is a good game. I do like it, and if you're looking for a quick 2-player game that has nice components, you like the theme, you like building your own thing, then you're going to want to check out Ankh'or. Did you miss the Game Topper 2.0 Kickstarter? Have no fear, it's not too late to get in on the ultimate gaming accessory. Convert your table into a high-quality gaming table with a fully portable Game Topper system and take advantage of some of the best 3mm premium gaming mats in the industry. New styles, new sizes, and new accessories can be yours. Upgrade every game you play by late backing now at GameToppersLLC.com.